Hello everybody, this is BSJ, and something I've done in the past, but I want to do again, back before the YouTube channel had gotten as many subscribers, so thank you for the support. But this is a type of video that I hope you guys like, and if you do like it, please comment and like the video, because that tells me and YouTube that you like the video. A lot of these subjects I'm going to try to come back to if I feel like you guys would like it, but maybe it didn't get as many views in the past. We'll try again. And so what I'm going to be talking about today is some of my picks and pubs. Picks that I think worked out really well, and tell you why I picked the hero, and talk about basically my vision of the game after the entire draft was done.
Banana slam jam.
So, yeah, a new patch is going to come out. Yeah, the pick order may be different in the future, but I think what I'm trying to think about during these games when I'm drafting is probably pretty important for you guys to learn from. So I'm going to talk about this PL game first. We're going to use a few examples in this video. So in this PL game, first round, the enemy team had Rubik's CK. So if the enemy team picks both their duo offlane, I knew it was offlane CK because it's Brax, but a lot of CKs in the current patch are offlane. When I see a dual lane, I usually will pick for the lane. So then I have to combine a few factors. So first and foremost, what I had in the first round was a Wyvern Sand King, I believe. It might have been Wyvern Tiny. But either way, I saw my Wyvern as my support, and I saw Rubik's CK as the offlane duo. So what I see in Wyvern is that she's a support that doesn't really help my hero all that much. She's kind of selfish in the sense that none of her spells actually benefit me in terms of defense or sustain. Most of them don't take their cold embrace. And then she's a hero that likes to defend her safe lane tower. She likes to plant herself in a lane 5-10 minutes into the game and push W on the creep wave. Get extra levels, get extra farm, and make it so that her safe laner doesn't have the burden of defending their own tower. So with that in mind, I want to pick a hero that's relatively independent for the first 4 or 5 levels because I have a Wyvern. As I mentioned, this is a type of support that doesn't help the carry all that much. And then I want to pick a hero that wants to leave lane at some point in the game. And I want to pick a hero that requires a response from the opponent, meaning that the opponent heroes I see do not deal with it thus far. So what I see in Rubik's CK is that both of them are heavy single target. And you may say that Rubik has Fade Bolt, but if you've ever played Rubik into PL or PL into Rubik, you would realize that PL is quite good against Rubik. Because the Fade Bolt's just not enough. You can doppelganger it off. It's like you're trying to single target lift somebody, and it's just a 10 PLs. So what I see is a hero that needs to be independent, so doesn't die to like CK stun, basically. Ideally, would be able to disjoint the CK stun. And then likes to jungle once they get level 6 or somewhere around there. Because my Wyvern wants to take the lane. And when I see heroes like CK Slardar, ones that want to kill me, offlaners that really want to kill me but apply no tower pressure, I prioritize heroes that can leave the lane at some point. And then because I can leave the lane at some point on PL, level 6 specifically, and I'm also independent level 1 through level 5, it makes it really nice for how the lane's going to get played out. It's having this vision of every step of the game. And I think in this video what I'm going to be emphasizing is that if you can, you want to pick a hero that works for the 1 to 5 minute mark. You want to pick a hero that has an idea of the 5 to 10 minute mark and requires a response from the opponent, meaning that the 2 heroes you see don't currently deal with it. But on top of that, you need to then be able to adjust to whatever heroes they picked later on in the draft with your items. Because past the 10-minute mark, that's when you have to start thinking about items that then adjust to the game. Because if you kind of had that vision for the first 10 minutes, your items will kind of just sort themselves out there. However, in the mid-game, you definitely need to start thinking about your items in terms of adjusting to the heroes they picked to you. And if you ask yourself, none of the heroes they picked are actually good against Phantom Lancer, then maybe you don't have to adjust your items. You just go like the normal Diffusal Manta kind of shit. So what I see in this game is that they last pick Storm. The Jug PL matchup's kind of even. Both heroes are pretty mediocre right now. Jug buys Battle Fury, and PL buys Diffusal. Battle Fury is like okay against PL, and Diffusal's okay against Jug. Neither hero really kills each other that well. So in this matchup, it's all about which hero is more independent on the map. Basically, the hero that doesn't die while it's farming. So what I see is that I have a lot of gankers. I have Bat Rider, I have Tiny, I have Sand King. A lot of these heroes are going to hunt the Jug. So my job in this game may sound simple, but I don't need to accelerate my farm. I just need to not die. And their only source of killing me was a hero they picked last, which was Storm Spirit, right? So what do you think I went? second item after treads, like normal laning items, treads, wraithband, wand, right? I went for the hood. It's nice sustaining against heroes like Phoenix. It's nice survivability against a hero like Storm, and it allows me to play by myself without fear of solo dying to Storm. The last thing I want to do is be like a 2/3 health PL that gets ball lightninged on by Storm Spirit. If you've never experienced that, trust me, it happens. So this idea of this pick looks so smooth because all the stages of the game are accounted for. I'm like, oh, okay, so I'm going to survive the first 5 minutes, then I'm going to jungle. My CS in lane wasn't that great. To be honest, Brax kind of outplayed me in this lane. But even because Wyvern was just giving me solo XP, it allowed me to get an early level 6, then leave lane, give the lane to Wyvern, jungle with a hood, play alone on on the opposite side of the map for my team, and then buy items that naturally just scale me into the late game. Diffusal on PL is pretty standard. S and Y, because they had a lot of AoE magic damage, didn't make sense to make a Manta. And then I went for the Scotty Abyssal. Pretty standard carry items, at least in 7.27. This video is going to consist of multiple examples, but this is the first one that I'd like you guys to see in terms of what it takes for me when I'm thinking about my hero in the draft. And if you can include as many of these factors into your pick, that's how much smoother the game will go. And this isn't something I expect you guys to be able to do instantly or on the first try, but it's something that I always tell you what questions you have to ask yourself in the game. And this is an example of things you can ask yourself during the draft, such that the questions in the game can be more straightforward because you've already thought about a lot of it at the 0-minute mark into the game. Okay.
A few moments later.
I just want you guys to know that I love each and every one of you except for the people that are not subs and use ad block. You guys, I love kind of. You're like the middle child. I know you're there, but I try not to acknowledge you.
I really want to play 3. Can you go mid?
10 seconds.
Sure, man. I would like that.
5 seconds.
Nice. We got a nice anti-Monkey King lineup.
Make your
Ah,
choice.
Nyx Assassin. This seemed like a nice Ricky Sticky Dicky game because they had like 3 heroes with reactionary survivability mechanics. The Monkey King, the Nyx, the Mirana. And none of their stuns are instant. So it just felt like a game where I had a lot of vision. They rely on vision, and picking a hero that you literally can't see seemed like the play. BSJ, we appreciate that description. No problem, guys. We also have pretty good wave clear on our team. So a lot of these things I'm talking about, you want to pick a hero that capitalizes on what your teammates do well, what the opponent does poorly, and also hero that is compensated by their teammates. Meaning like Ricky lacks wave clear, lacks tower push, and we've got Beastmaster Batrider. So I'm going to go ahead and clip that and put that in my description for the draft video.
A few moments later.
So in our third example, I was 10th pick here. I saw every hero in the game except for the Nyx. And what I see in this game is that I have a mid Batrider and a offlane Timbersaw. 2 heroes that are very independent. And what I mean by independent is that if I'm getting dove or that I'm like having to need help in any way, they're not coming. Like think about it if you're Batrider, think about it if you're Timbersaw. You're farming for yourself, you're applying pressure yourself. You're not going to help your carry at all. And then I had 2 supports with no save, no defensive mechanism. And I looked at the opponent team and I said, they have pretty much all kill threat. Clockwork, Slark, Legion, Puck. So even though Jug isn't all that great against Legion in the game of Dota, I said I needed a hero that just didn't fucking die if they tried to kill it. And even then, I still had 2 early deaths. And if you watch this game back, I'm just getting fucked with all game, like for the first 10 minutes. They like ignore my Timbersaw, they ignore my Batrider, and there's like 4 people in my lane at 7-8 minutes into the game. And what ended up happening is, eventually, my team counterplays because they're strong enough and they're farmed enough, and then we just kind of win the game from there. I got absolutely carried by Timbersaw here. Shout out to you, little Nick. But this is a situation where I know Slark on paper counters Timbersaw, but really the 2 supports, Puck as well as Clockwork, just do absolutely nothing to Timbersaw early on. So we actually aggro tri-lane to giving him a good start and prioritizing his game over mine. And the cool thing about this type of pick is that I didn't really draft for the lane. I didn't really draft for like anything. Like what I saw in this draft is I have a bunch of independent, stunning, damage-dealing heroes, and all I need is a hero that doesn't really need help and a hero that takes objectives. So like if you compare this to like a lifestealer or some other survivable carry, I think Jug is the best example simply because we also had no objective taking and like in no way to end the game. We also had no sustain and no team fight building items. So Juggernaut Healing Ward gives us all that. So I do think even though I had a couple slip-up deaths in the early game, this game was a great example of a game that I thought would play out a certain way, and it worked out great. And this comes with like a lot of experience on Jug specifically, but something you can think about in your games is how much you're going to get help, how much your team is going to play around you, and overall, like sometimes you just need to pick a hero that doesn't frickin' die, and that's good enough in the draft. And this was one of those cases. If you liked this video, please like, comment, subscribe to the YouTube channel, all that shenanigans, because at the end of the day, YouTube does care about that. You may not care about it, I may not care about it, but the YouTube algorithm does. So please do.